Your soul story is meant to be shaped within community. Some chapters of our lives, we need people to witness. Some breakthroughs require mirrors to show us what we are really needing to work on. We can't learn how to have a voice, how to love one another if we're by ourselves. Some truths only emerge when spoken into a shared field. It's okay to grow out of isolation. We need people. You're not designed to stay in isolation. Your soul didn't come here to be self-contained. We are humans. We are not built that way. It came here to be in relationship with people, with purpose, with the world. Welcome to Step Into Your Story with Carla Goldberg. This is a space to breathe, listen inward, and step into the story your soul is guiding you toward. If you feel there's something missing in your life, or you are drawn to develop your spiritual side, you are in the right place. We are continuing with a series about community. Today, we'll explore why your soul story was never meant to unfold in isolation and how community becomes the soil that helps you grow. Before we get started, let's take a big breath in and blow it out. And we are arriving together in community, since that is our topic. And community is really an ecosystem that helps your soul story take shape. If you've ever longed for deeper connection but didn't know where to find it, you're not alone. We have all been there. You may be there today, and that's okay. Your soul didn't come here to walk in isolation, even if you've spent years doing it. That's not how you were designed. And we're going to be talking about that today. And how do we open up and step into community? And what does that look like? And what kind of community? Every soul arrives with a story encoded inside it. It's like a seed with a spiritual blueprint. Our job is to help that seed grow, nurture it, love on it, provide all the things it needs: soil, sunlight, water, wind, and love on it and let it grow and see what happens. It's just like when we plant a seed. We know it may be a certain type of seed, like a daisy or a viola, but we don't know really what it's going to look like, right? We don't know the exact how yellow it'll be, what purples will come out. There's so much that we don't know until it's growing, and we explore that, and it changes as the weather changes. We're the same way. A seed can't grow in a vacuum, and your soul story needs the right environment to unfold. If you're in a physical state of emotional stress, it can be very challenging to develop your spiritual side. Community is a part of that natural ecosystem your soul expected to find here on earth, and your soul planned to find here on earth. We made a soul contract with other people when we came to earth as what we're going to work on. And if you're doing this in isolation, you're not fulfilling your soul contract. And that's not what we want to happen, because you might have to redo it. You never know what's going to happen as things unfold. And then we have weeds in our ecosystem, right? Just like a garden. And we need to pull those out and get rid of those. We don't want them making more seeds and planting more weeds. So let's do a little bit of self reflection. And keep in mind, your story needs the right environment to unfold. So I'm going to ask you some questions, and I'm going to leave a little pause time for you to think. And I really want you to reflect on the answers to these questions and just check in and see what you're feeling in the moment when you hear these. Where in your life do you feel nourished? Where do you feel depleted? Which environments help you breathe deeper and which environments make you shrink. Feel the feels, see what comes up, make a note of it. If you've been carrying everything alone, I see you. If you've been longing for connection but don't know where to start, you are not alone. If you have been feeling the ache of loneliness, you are not broken, my friend. You are human. This is part of our experience, and it's hard and it's messy because humans are messy. So let's talk a little bit about why we are not meant to walk alone in our soul story, in our journey, in our time here on earth. Your story becomes real when it is witnessed. When a story stays inside your head, it's just theoretical. Speaking it out loud gives it shape, edges, direction. It makes it a more concrete concept, even if it sounds crazy when you're saying it. Being witnessed gives you that clarity. It helps you hear yourself. Sometimes someone else names the truth you've been circling but couldn't articulate. Other people also help you see what you cannot see. We all have blind spots, places we minimize, hide, or forget. Whether it's conscious or unconscious, we all have them. Community can reflect back your gifts, your patterns, your potential. They can mirror those things you need to work on. Sometimes someone can see your brilliance before you do. Someone can see your pain before you can even name it. That's why we need to stick within community. Your voice strengthens every time it is heard. It grows through expression, not isolation. When someone receives your truth with openness, your nervous system relaxes. Safety amplifies when you are authentic with people around you. Being heard helps you trust your own inner sound. Isolation distorts your story. The connection clarifies your story. Alone, it's easy to get stuck in loops, whether it's having constant worry, going to worst case scenarios. We have replayed our whole lives these loops. It is very hard to get off that treadmill and get on something else. Self doubt or shrinking of self rise up when we're trying to get off that treadmill. Alone, you can convince yourself your story doesn't matter. When you're alone, you lose the thread of who you are, who you signed up to be, coming to earth. Connection brings perspective, grounding, and direction. Look, we are all relational beings. We are designed as humans to be biologically, emotionally, and spiritually connected. Our nervous systems regulate in the presence of others. They've done tons of research about like how long to hug each other. I think it's 90 seconds, but I could be wrong. How long to hug each other and how our nervous system calms. That's being in community. Our intuition sharpens when we feel safe. Our creativity expands when we feel supported and loved. Our healing accelerates when we're not carrying everything alone. Think of someone, if you know someone who's had cancer, and how all the people around them surround them, support them, and love on them. The end result might not be what they had planned, but it makes it a lot easier. Your soul story is meant to be shaped within community. Some chapters of our lives, we need people to witness. Some breakthroughs require mirrors to show us what we are really needing to work on that's mirrored in the people around us. Some initiations require companionship. There's things we have to work through. And we can't do that by ourselves. We can't learn how to have a voice, how to love one another if we're by ourselves. It does not work. Some truths only emerge when spoken into a shared field. Walking alone is a trauma response, not a spiritual requirement. Many of us in our human lives and our humanness have learned to be self reliant because we had to survive our trauma, to survive our childhood. It's okay to grow out of isolation. It is okay to need people. We need to ensure they are the right kind of people, but we need people. There are times you may be called into isolation to do some inner work. That does happen. But you're always called to get back in community and share what you learned with others. You may have a period of isolation, but you still come back into community. And sometimes we get isolated so we can have that deep inner growth that we need so we can come back strong. You're not designed to stay in isolation. Your soul didn't come here to be self-contained. We are humans. We are not built that way. It came here to be in relationship with people, with purpose, with the world. Community doesn't replace your inner guidance. It amplifies it. The right people don't tell you who you are. They help you remember who you are. They help you trust your own knowing. They help you walk your story with more courage and clarity and boldness. Modern culture glorifies independence, especially in America. It's very valued to be independent and on your own. But our soul doesn't crave independence. Our soul craves connection. All right, that was a lot. That was a lot, wasn't it? So I want you to just take a breath in, blow it out, and just notice what you're feeling in your body right now. What tension are you having? Whether it's your neck, your shoulders, something. And I want you to make note of that because that could be where you're feeling your own pain. Because a lot of times our emotional responses get stuck in our bodies because we're not voicing them and our body's absorbing it and has to do something with the energy and then get stuck somewhere. So that might be something to follow up with at another time. Humans have always healed in circles, long before group therapy, long before 12-step programs, long before self-help books. Community is not a luxury. It's an ancient technology. Some people are a part of your soul contract. By them coming into your life, they are activating chapters of your life. You cannot access alone. They have a specific role that they signed up to do. Don't shut that door. Let them in. A coherent group field softens your nervous system. It creates safety. When you're held in a field of community and harmony, where your inner self and your outer world match, your intuition becomes louder and more clear. Your voice becomes more honest when it's not echoing into an empty room. Your soul is calling you toward your people. Imagine what your story could become if you didn't have to carry it alone. Mm. So here's a personal story. I moved to a new place that was not welcoming and just had a lot of people who were busy with their own lives and their own families. And it was just not a welcoming area and not what I was used to because it's not where I grew up in terms of being welcome and helping one another. And I had one thing that kept me going. I was in a healing class, and as part of the class, it was like, I think it was like the first one was like 5 months, something like that. So it was an extended time. And as part of the requirement was we had to once a week meet with an accountability group. And it was like randomly, well, there's nothing random, but it's not like I didn't know anyone in those groups before I started. I had to develop a relationship with them. And we were just kind of, hey, who wants a group to meet at this time? And that's kind of how it came together. And that group, we met once a week over Zoom, and we're supposed to check on our homework. What did you have problems with? What was hard? What healing modality did you practice? That kind of thing. But that group became so much more. They became my best friends. And I'd never met them in person. I did eventually afterwards, but they were my besties. They understood me. And some of them I even we went together to Hawaii for a ley line work that we did on Gaia, on Earth. But we will be lifelong friends and we're still connected. And I'm saying this because it can be done over Zoom. You don't have to have someone in your area physically, because I didn't. And without this group, I would have had a really hard time. Before we close today, I want to leave you with something gentle, a quiet seed you can tuck inside your pocket. Because the truth is, if you're listening to this, you are already part of a community of people wanting to remember their stories. Even if you're alone right now when you're listening to this, if you're in your car, walking your dog, doing the dishes, you are not walking this path by yourself. I am here waiting for you to join me to step into the story your soul signed up for. There are others listening who are on the same journey. People you may have never met, but who are growing alongside you. There are people you will meet, people who will become essential in the next chapter of your life. Soul companions who arrive right on time. People who activate parts of you so you don't walk in isolation. You don't have to know who they are yet. Just trust your story is already calling them in. Your voice is a magnet. Your truth is a signal. When you show up as yourself, the right witnesses always find you. And if you've been walking alone for a long time, or if you've been self reliant because you had to be, I want you to know that you don't have to keep doing it that way. You don't have to know where to begin. You don't have to have the perfect words. You don't have to be ready, whatever ready is. Just notice the places where connection wants to happen. That is your intuition, your soul calling you and guiding you what to do next. Notice the people who feel like good soil. Notice the moments when your story wants to be shared instead of held inside. Your next level of growth will likely involve being seen in new ways. It's not a threat, it's an invitation to step into that growth. So even if it's quiet or subtle, even if it's just for a moment, you're already in the beginning of a community. You are stepping into it. You're already part of a circle. You're already walking with others who are remembering. Look to the right, look to the left. We are here with you. Imagine how your story might unfold when you're surrounded by people who truly see who you are. Your story is a seed, and every seed needs the right soil to grow. This week, for your homework, I want you to explore your soil. And we have an acronym, SOIL. S is for safety. Notice when your body feels safe, open, or at ease. Those places matter more than you think. O stands for others. Pay attention to the people who help you feel seen, heard, or encouraged. Those are your natural mirrors. I stands for inspiration. Where do you feel that spark, that creative, that connection to your intuition, that like, yeah, those environments are your sunlight. And L is to let go. Gently name one thing, just one, a habit, a pattern, an environment that no longer supports your growth. Just one. That's your soil. Safety, others, inspiration, and let go. Tend to those four things this week and notice what begins to grow. If you found this episode helpful, I would really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, even send it to a friend, because there's a whole bunch of us who are trying to connect and find that community. And together, that's how we do it. So let's build that connection by sharing this episode. Until next time, walk gently, listen closely, and keep stepping into your story.